This is Trust the Profits 10-minute rundown. Here's your hosts, El Hombre and the Formula.
Hi everyone, Trust the Profits here, coming at you with our YouTube channel. We are talking about the Belmont Stakes. I'm the Formula, joined as always by El Hombre. El Hombre, how's it going?
Going well. What up? What up?
What is up is the post draw for Belmont. So we got all 8 horses in order with their odds. We're going to tell you who we like, who's an insta-toss. We're going to tell you who's going to win because we got a crystal ball. We can predict the future. Isn't that right? We got our mortgage the house for the 4th time picks.
Yeah, 100%. I mean,
yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Sell the kids like we've talked about in the past.
Right.
Sell the kids and pawn their toys and everything else because we got the lock of the century. Not really.
You pawn the toys, but you put the kids in hock. That's how it works. That's the best. That's the best combo.
It depends on how much you value your kids. It's everybody's choice. I mean, everybody's different. But
and I am drinking Hot Butcher today. Hot Butcher for the world. Lovely Chicago beer. Giving them free sponsorship just today so they can get that Trust the Profits bump. Anyone else out there who has lovely alcoholic goods that wants to sponsor us, send us some free things. We're here for you.
Just a little merch and a couple beers and we'll sell your product for you. So thanks to them. I'm wearing a Blue Moon shirt that I didn't get paid for or anything else.
Let's go big.
I'm just as a commercial beer fan, not usually, but Blue Moon. If you're gonna go cheap and go party store beer, I'm a Blue Moon fan. I like it.
All right, so this is our channel. Hit the subscribe button. It's around here somewhere. I might be looking at it right now. I may not be. It's around here. Hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much for that. Also, we don't just look pretty on camera. We give you picks. El Hombre, what's our deal for the week?
We're doing, and we have been doing since the middle of last week, all Belmont all the time through the Belmont Stakes and actually through Sunday, which we weren't exactly sure if they were running Sunday.
Yeah.
Until the schedule, we took a look and verified that they are running. So starting Thursday through Sunday.
Thursday. Yeah.
We're doing every race of Belmont, including obviously the big Belmont Stakes Day for one price, and we will list that on all of our social media platforms, and you can purchase it by emailing us at trusttheprofits@gmail.com or contact us via private message on any of our platforms.
Or you can call El Hombre directly. His phone number should be flashing below somewhere here right now. You can just text him.
I've got enough threats from dudes wanting to beat my ass on YouTube already. Don't need all that.
All right, so let's start off Belmont Stakes. First off, I don't know if you've heard this, but we've got some breaking news just here. Trust the Profits. We're breaking this first. Bob Baffert has not entered any horses in the Belmont Stakes.
Incredible.
Wow. What gives? Wow, that's a shocker.
We need shocking breaking news things flying across the screen.
We need Mort Krim in a van driving somewhere to get the scoop. I mean, this is insane. Bob Baffert, what could have happened?
Load up the van for an emergency evacuation of the whole news channel to dump out into the streets to find out more about this topic.
Wow. So with that said, let's jump into it. Who do we have for Belmont 2021? 8-horse field. Good field. 8-horse fields. Some of the most predictable from a formula perspective, and we've been good at Belmont. I just want to put a feather in our cap here. Belmont's been one of our better tracks lately.
100%.
Especially this past Sunday. It
has been our best track without question in 2021.
Yeah, exactly. In 2021. There you go. It's been our best track. The formula's been working it really well. I think our hit percentage, especially on the exotics, have been really solid. This past Sunday, we went 10 for 10 on our exotics, hit every single one. So congratulations if you followed along at home.
Yeah, no doubt.
Let's do it. Okay, Bourbonic, Pletcher horse. Kendrick Carmouche is the jockey. So 13th in the Derby, won the Wood, won a couple of claimers. It's a Pletcher horse, used to running in Aqueduct and Belmont. Does it have a home court advantage? I don't think so. I don't think Bourbonic is actually going to get it done. I'm putting him in the back of the pack. Not a huge surprise. 15-1 shot. Carmouche's first ride at Belmont Stakes, by the way. Congratulations to Kendi. We're both big fans.
Mm-hmm.
We hope you get it done. I just don't think it's today. El Hombre, what do you think of Bourbonic?
I think 15-1 odds is about right. I think the horse top equibase speed figure was 100. He was defeated by 16 lengths in the Derby against basically the same competition. Minus Medina Spirit, but everybody else, the other top three. Plus, I think, and we'll get into this in a bit, Rock Your World coming off of, I think he's going to be the speed here. We'll get into that later, but I don't think that this is going to shape up any way possible for Bourbonic to be near the front at all. I think it's an insta-toss for me.
Insta-toss
for me. Yeah, totally agree. It's a Pletcher horse. It's one of three that he has, and it's probably his second best. Easily his second best. We know who the first is. I think the third one and the second one, it's probably a toss-up between those two, but Bourbonic has probably proven more than his third horse.
Insta-toss. Done.
Insta-toss, done. Move on. Let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
Big to-do about the rail at Kentucky Derby. Not so much at Belmont Stakes, right? 8-horse race, mile and a half in 2021. I mean, getting the rail, getting any position, does it really matter this time around in your mind, El Hombre?
No, nothing. It means nothing.
It means nothing, right?
No, not with 8 horses.
Not with 8 horses, not with this distance. Moving on.
Different animal. The gate, the way the gate lays out, different. No, I don't think it matters at all. I could, I'm sure that somebody out there is going to call me an idiot for that. That's fine. I don't think it matters at all. To answer that question, simply no, it doesn't matter.
Number 2, everyone's favorite 3-year-old gray, essential quality, the 2-1 favorite. Cox horse, Louis Saez in the mount, ran 4th in the Derby, and that was its most comparable distance to this race. So, gives you an idea for what he's able to do at a long distance like this. 4th, but he was in the top tier, in my opinion, right? That top tier was those 4 horses, and he was closing in on Hot Rod Charlie, if I do remember correctly. Questions surrounding the winner, obviously. Do we remember who the winner was? Medina Spirit? Why isn't he racing here? Again, breaking news. Hot Rod Charlie finished ahead of him, but again, Essential Quality was closing in on him, so maybe getting that extra length. Who knows? Where is Highly Motivated? I mean, that's usually the horse that Essential Quality likes to pound on in these races. Surprised to not see him here. Couldn't do the distance. Yeah, probably. Yeah. So I definitely like Essential Quality here, right? Take a look at the 4th place at the Derby. I don't think that's really the horse that he is. I think especially with 8 other horses, we've seen him in 8-horse races before, or this below 10 size race before, and he's done extremely well in multiple types of scenarios, multiple conditions. And here's the ironic part, right? So this was the horse that was supposed to be the horse headed into the Triple Crown. Two legs in, 0 jewels. This is the last time for him to get that jewel. What do you think, El Hombre? Do you think this is the time for Essential Quality and Louis Saez, who has never won Belmont Stakes before?
Well, yes. If you followed us at all, you know that I've been a big Essential Quality fan from the beginning, since the Breeders' Cup. Been on him. I'm still on him. I think he's going to win this race.
There it is.
He got a fairly decent trip in the Derby. It wasn't ideal. He was 5 wide. He I don't remember the figure. He ran 70 feet longer than Medina Spirit. He ran a longer race. Blah blah blah. Everybody's heard all the numbers.
Yeah.
The fact is, he finished, within a couple lengths. He was very competitive,
and he was closing at the end.
He's always been very competitive in every race. Medina Spirit's juice factory is not in the house. There are other speed that we'll get into. There are other speed horses that can be a threat to him. It's not going to be easy. My only question on EQ is the 2-1 morning line odds, and I think that's right where he's going to be. Is there any value in betting him? That's my only choice.
Depends on your confidence.
I do believe he's going to win at 2-1. I don't know how much I'm going to risk on that, but
yeah,
Yeah, I think you know, because he was pushed wide at the Derby and it just wasn't. What did he draw, the 16 hole or whatever? I'm trying to remember, but
Yeah, it was in the upper teens. It was above 15. We'll just put it in that quadrant.
Yeah, it was not an ideal situation there, and he, like I said, he ran 5 deep, both turns at the Derby, and still almost got there.
Yeah.
I love this horse. I love Cox and Saez here too, and I just think also he's bred for the distance. It's a Tappet horse.
Oh, right. Good point.
I don't think the distance is going to hurt him, and I think 2 of the 3 horses that beat him are not here: Medina Spirit and Mandolin.
Yeah.
He is Hot Rod Charlie, obviously a threat here too, but I think it's EQ's redemption tour right here.
Yeah. I think the story is setting up really well for that. It makes a lot of sense. Like I said, you know, he had this whole story about the Triple Crown. You figured that he was the favorite for Kentucky Derby. That was a race he was going to win. Potentially he'd be in Preakness. We all thought he would be in Preakness. Then he got pulled out. So, I mean, I think this is probably why he was pulled out. So he had some more rest time to get ready for Belmont and just to pound it home, right?
I don't think the Essential Quality story is over.
No. Definitely not.
Belmont, and then obviously he could move on to big things at the Breeders' Cup and everything else again this year.
Yeah.
Unfortunate circumstance at the Derby, but I don't know. We'll see. But I do think he's my favorite to win it. Who else we got? What do we got?
Number 3, we got ROMBAUER. So we went from having no jewels in the Triple Crown to the horse that got the second jewel in the Triple Crown, your Preakness winner, 3rd at the Bluegrass before winning Preakness, edging past Medina Spirit and Midnight Bourbon. Rested the Derby, so we didn't even get to see what he could do in the Derby. Not sure if he could have actually pushed Medina Spirit at all. Won the Camino Real for whatever that's worth at Golden Gate. I'm going to pass on ROMBAUER. 3-1. No, you chuck this one to the side. I think he's a really good horse. I wrote great, but as soon as I started talking through it, I started thinking, I don't feel like ROMBAUER's great. I don't feel like I can say that he's dominated enough to make it look like he's one of the horses that you would want to put with 3-1 in the Belmont Stakes. I think he's just working off of a gutsy performance at Preakness, where he passed one of the horses that was probably coming off the juice. Not as great a competition other than that. Obviously, Concert Tour was supposed to be another big competitor at Preakness, and we saw what happened there. So ROMBAUER, I don't know. I'm going to chuck him aside. He's got Johnny V in the saddle, who's won this race twice. What do you think?
I agree. I mean, obviously, I don't think anybody would be blown away if he did win this race. I don't see it for ROMBAUER. Okay. Well, I mean, I would be surprised, not blown away.
Okay.
I think this is a much tougher field than the Preakness was for
100%. I agree.
I think there's a lot of horses that like to run the same race ROMBAUER likes to run, which is like a stalker. He's a stalker. He's going to be somewhere near the front. I don't think he's going to be on the lead.
Yep.
But this is a way more talented field than the Preakness was, even though it's an 8-horse field. It's not super deep.
Yeah.
But I think, 6 of the 8 horses are on par or better than who he faced in the Preakness, and obviously some of them he faced in the Preakness. But I think the other thing that's going against ROMBAUER is he's coming off. He's got two weeks less rest time than the main competition in here, and the main competition to me is EQ.
Yeah.
And Rock Your World and whoever else you want to throw in there. If they didn't run the Preakness, they got an extra 2 weeks of rest, and for whatever.
I think it's 3 weeks rest, right? Hasn't it been 3 weeks since Preakness?
I mean, an extra 2 weeks. Since the Derby before that, though, yes.
Yeah, gotcha.
I don't know. I wouldn't be petrified with, I would not be shocked out of this world if he won, but I won't bet him. I probably won't even include him in exotics, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Neither would I.
I've got him sitting, spoiler alert, I've got him sitting about the 5th best horse in this race, to be honest with you. So.
Yeah, I'm shocked at the 3-1. I guess I shouldn't be. They probably predicted.
It's just even more of a deterrent to me. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
I would be shocked if ROMBAUER won. I mean, I'm thinking back to who was in that race in Preakness, right? And you think about who were the top money line horse, or who were the top morning line horses. Sorry, Medina Spirit, Concert Tour were 1 and 2, and that was the talk of the town, and everybody else fell in below that. And once you saw them fade, then you started seeing like that next tier of Midnight Bourbon and Rombauer shift up. We learned more about Concert Tour, obviously, but we learned a lot about Baffert, I think, from that race, or at least that's one of the storylines. Or maybe it was just the 2 weeks rest time. Who knows? With Medina Spirit. But it just ended up being a much more winnable race for everyone in that next tier down, Rombauer being part of that. Now you look at this race and you see Essential Quality, Hot Rod Charlie, Known Agenda, Rock Your World, and do I see Rombauer coming from behind and beating Essential Quality in the same way that he beat Medina Spirit and Midnight Bourbon? No. That's it for me.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's got to be up on top. He's got to have the perfect trip. Not a perfect trip. He's got to have a better trip than the other great horses in this race are all stalkers as well.
Right,
so,
exactly. Who stalks better,
EQ,
Essential Quality or Rombauer?
Yeah, he's got too much competition here. Plus, there could be a blistering pace setter that we'll get into shortly here. What else?
Yeah, we're getting there. Number 4, Hot Rod Charlie. We just spoke about him. 7-2. So Rombauer actually more of a favorite than Hot Rod Charlie, which blows my mind.
Me too.
Flavian Pratt on the mount.
Silly.
I know, right? An O'Neill horse. I almost think that Hot Rod Charlie should be the favorite here. I wrote that, and then I went back and I watched the Kentucky Derby, and I did watch as Essential Quality was starting to close on Hot Rod Charlie, right? And you keep thinking, what if he had another 100 yards? What about another 200 yards, right? How would that have played out? Because we are talking about a longer race here. And then I went back and said, okay, maybe Essential Quality. Yeah, I see him being the favorite. Hot Rod Charlie, 7-2 though, finished close, a close third behind those two horses in front of him. Mandaloun and Medina Spirit. Ooh, I almost fell back into Medina. Essential Quality closed, but Hot Rod Charlie obviously still held him off. We don't know what would happen with extra distance, as I was saying. Was prepping well for the Kentucky Derby, closing out with the Louisiana Derby, having a strong first place finish there above Midnight Bourbon. So this was one of the horses we were talking about heading into the Derby as one to consider for betting, right? And here we are 5 weeks later or so. What do you think about him for Belmont?
I think he's very much a part of the top 3. Must play in all formats of betting to me. Has a chance to win.
Totally.
Probably my second or third betting choice, to be honest. So all he's done is finished in the top 3 at every race. He lost by a couple lengths to Medina Spirit in the first major at Lewis.
Yeah.
Then he dominated the Louisiana Derby and then lost the Kentucky Derby to, again, a juice monster that, and you can say what you want about whether the juice was a factor or not. Medina Spirit, obviously a high-quality racehorse. All the top 4 there were elite in their own right, and Hot Rod Charlie was in that mix with EQ.
Yeah.
Mandaloun, and I think he's going to press the pace, if not lead the race from the start. It's going to come down to him or Rock Your World leading the race, in my opinion. And I think that Hot Rod Charlie, if he gets there, is going to be very tough to beat. And if anything goes sideways at all for EQ, I think it might fall into his lap. I think he's a great horse. I love him. I've rooted for him all year.
Yeah.
I think he's got a real shot. I definitely wouldn't leave him out of exacta trifecta boxes. I wouldn't leave him out of any exotics at all.
Right.
Period.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I've got Hot Rod Charlie as being, yeah, he's probably in my final 3, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, unquestionably, he's done everything right all year.
Yeah, exactly.
Other than win every race, that's
short of that,
which none of these guys have done. So.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, number 5. We got the insta toss of a century here. France Godina.
What an insult.
30-1. Maury's the trainer. Ricky Santana Jr. is the jockey. Never won Belmont Stakes. Ricky Santana Jr. So sorry, Ricky. It's not today. It's not going to be this weekend. So first of all, this sounds like a prank call name. If I heard someone say this over the phone, I would immediately react as if, some joke were being played on me. France Godina, right? I mean, the weirdest sounding horse. Its claim to fame, finished 7th at the Preakness, which again is at least 2 spots ahead of Concert Tour for whatever that's worth. Okay, just keep it going. Insta toss, get out of here. Probably finishing at the very back. Concert Tour might be holding his saddle at the end of this. We'll see.
The horse might be up on the pace for the first half. Who knows? But yeah, it's got no shot. Let's be honest. This is a rich Japanese guy that's just over here for the hoorah of the a Triple Crown race, and who can blame him? The horse has 0 chance. If you bet him, you're an idiot. It's 30-1 morning line. It should be 3,000-1. It's got no shot. Again, I'm a huge Ricky Santana fan, as are you.
Yeah.
And it's good. He's gonna, he can add that to his resume of Triple Crown starts. Not gonna be a good finish for France Go-Daina. And I don't think we have anything else to say about this horse other than congratulations to Hideki Uikiki Mori and Yuji Inayeda for flying the family out and having a good time. Hope you guys have lots of sake and get hammered and have a great time before the race, because it's not going to be a good time for you after.
Arigato gozaimashita. Okay, on to number 6. Known Agenda, 6-1. The top Pletcher horse in the race. Irad Ortiz in the saddle. So Known Agenda. I don't think we can blame the loss on the rail to this horse. I'm just going to come out and say it again. At the Kentucky Derby. You do? I do not. Come on. 9th place in the Derby. 1st in the Florida Derby. And that's at a good comparable distance. 1 1/8. With an outstanding speed number. Few previous prep races that aren't that impressive, but it looked like Known Agenda was peaking at the right time. At 6-1, I think this is probably one of the better prices out there. Irad Ortiz, he's won the Belmont Stakes once. He's a great jockey. I know some people rag on him and his brother, but he gets the job done more often than not. So there you go, Known Agenda. I think this is probably the best deal out there at 6-1. I'm not dipping into anything above 10 this time around. I'm not going to be one of those guys, but 6-1 for Known Agenda seems like a steal.
Yeah, you can think what you want on the 1 hole at the Derby, and how big of a factor that was, but looking at that race was over. He was positioned way further back in the field than I think is ideal for him. He's somewhere between a stalker and a closer. He's not a true stalker. He's definitely not a pace presser naturally. Right. But with Irad, I think that this shorter field, I definitely think that he's got a shot here. I definitely think that if things fall the wrong way for a couple of the other favorites, I think that he's going to be right, sitting probably 3rd or 4th the first half of the race. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if he pulls off the upset here. 6-1, again, I agree with you that that's probably the best price to take a stab with if you're going to come off of one of the favorites.
Right. Price versus likelihood, this is the best one you're going to find in the mix.
And I think he's a must-play in every betting format. I think
for sure.
You're crazy to leave him off of basically any bets. Because, I mean, if EQ gets there, will Known Agenda run him down? Probably not. But if EQ doesn't have an ideal run, I mean, Known Agenda's it's between him and Hot Rod Charlie to meet of who will step up and win that race if EQ doesn't have a good run.
Right.
I love Known Agenda. I loved him in the Derby.
Oh, I know you do.
And then the one draw kind of muttered that and gave him an excuse. Maybe he blows out here, and you're more justified saying that the one hole wasn't as big of a factor. But
yeah,
I think it was, and I think that this is a new race, and I think that he could win it.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a winnable race for him, in my opinion. Number 7, we got Rock Your World. It's a 9-2 morning line on Rock Your World. Sadler's the trainer. Yoel Rosario is the jockey. Won twice at Belmont already, so this is a great jockey to have on Rock Your World. I have him as the likely pace setter if there's no starting gate setbacks like he had at the Derby. Remember, this horse had the top speed figure of any horse headed into the Derby. The only one that had a better speed figure was Life is Good, who ended up injuring himself. Shocker. Another Baffert horse injured himself. Wonder why. Maybe he had a Baffert smoothie before. Yeah, look at me. A Baffert smoothie before that race. Who knows? Anyway, people did question him coming off the turf. But, I mean, he looked awesome at Santa Anita during the Derby. The Santa Anita Derby, that is. Looked good to me. The question is, can he set the pace? Can he keep all the challengers off in this super long race? Is he going to be a charlatan or a Tis the Law, or is he going to be a horse that sets the pace and then fades in that final stretch and lets someone like Known Agenda, Essential Quality, or Hot Rod Charlie take over in that final stretch? He's got Belmont on, or sorry, he's got Rosario on top, who's won Belmont twice. This could be the redemption for Rock Your World here today. I mean, there's a number of horses that are looking for some sort of redemption. I think this is one of them.
Agreed. Rock Your World had the absolute lock for the worst performance possible at the Derby, and it sucked.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't real heavy on Rock Your World, so I wasn't brokenhearted to see him not a factor.
Yeah.
But he stumbled out of the gate, fell to his knees. It was over before it started. I mean, not only did he draw a terrible post position, he was way outside.
Dead last, I think, or pretty close to it.
He was way outside, not ideal for what he was trying to do. All the speed was inside of him. And then he stumbled out of the gate. It was a perfect storm of horrible.
Yeah.
And it didn't even matter what happened after the first 50 yards, to be honest. He sat there and ran 100 yards behind everybody, and that's not who he is. He's a pace setter. He's going to press the pace. He's going to set the pace. I think he sets the pace in the Belmont. I don't know what he does with it. He's 9-2, which I feel is just about exactly where he should be. He's very capable of winning here. I'm including him, and I hate to sound like a robot here, but I think you got to include 4 horses and everything. As far as exotics go,
there's just 4 horses that are too close.
One of them. And Rock Your World's one. I mean, he could wire the field. He could come out if he gets to the point early. He could run away like he has before.
Right.
If he has any stumbles, it's over instantly for him. That's how it was at the Kentucky Derby for him. Although the post position doesn't matter in this race, he's fine.
Yeah, right.
But, I wouldn't be surprised if he wins. I wouldn't be surprised if he's,
overtaken at the end.
I don't know. Yeah. I do like him here, and I think you're crazy to leave him out of exotics again. It's a great field. I love this race.
Yeah, me too. You got at least 4 horses that are interesting. 5 horses, you could probably extend it out to Rombauer and say you've got 5 horses that are just really interesting, have won good races, and they've got question marks, but not a ton of them. Right? It's not like a lot of that second, third tier making this up. It's some top tier 3-year-olds here. So finally, we're at number 8. The final horse in the Belmont Stakes, Overtook, 20-1. Todd Pletcher horse. Manny Franco was in the mount. Manny Franco has won once. When did he win? Last year with Tis the Law. So special thanks to Overtook for making this an even 8-horse race. Thank you very much. That's about where it ends. Instatoss.
Instatoss.
Second at the Withers. Third at the Peter Pan. But really, the questions that come up from Overtook is, where are all the other horses that I wanted to see here, right? Where's Risk Taking? Where's all those other New York stable horses that we talked about leading into the Kentucky Derby that were winning, every other race or whatever it was? This is what we got. We got Overtook, and, above we've got Bourbonic. It would have been nice to see this field fill out a little bit more, but like you said, there's at least more quality in this field, so it's not overrun by that second and third tier like you'd see in some other races. But yeah, for me, Overtook is 20-1, Instatoss, no chance. This is probably Pletcher's 3rd horse in the race in order of importance.
I agree. He's an Instatoss, 100%. Peter Pan Stakes ran 3rd, was set up perfect to go on for the win if he had it in him.
Yeah.
Lost to Promise Keeper and Nova Rags. It set up perfect for him. Didn't have it in him. Horse is a great horse. It's not going to win the Belmont at 20-1, 50-1, 500-1. It doesn't matter. The appeal for him, I think, for most people is the pedigree's Curlin, and Curlin can run all day.
Yeah.
Most of Curlin's horses can run all day. I guess the only hope he has is that he hasn't reached potential yet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't bet that way. Betting on the potential of something. I mean, I'll take it into consideration at the early stages of a 3-year-old, but this.
Yeah.
He just hasn't done anything to show me that he's going to be involved here. I think it's an insta toss. Only better than the Japanese horse, France, whatever it is.
France go to Ina.
Those two are both insta tosses, although I think Overtook's probably the 7th out of 8.
Yeah.
As opposed to the France, the Japanese horse is 8. The Japanese horse probably should be not even in the building. So, just my opinion.
He beat Concert Tour. Come on. Breaking news, Concert Tour, Medina Spirit, not in this race.
Weird, yeah.
Life is Good, not in this race. No Baffert horses. Once again, breaking news. You heard it here first.
Who knew it? Who knew
Trust
it?
the prophets.
And with that said, I think you got 5. I think you just mentioned it too. 5 of the 8 are. I mean, you'd be pressed to argue that they don't have a shot to win.
Right.
5 of the 8, 3 of them I think are insta tosses. We talked about it. I think
Yeah.
throw Bourbonic in there. That thing's got nothing, no chance. Maybe they hit. Maybe one of them shows up for 4th, and you can have a cute superfecta. But
Yeah.
the other 5, man, it's open to me. I mean, I don't like Rombauer, and you don't like Rombauer either. But you can't insta toss Rombauer just because of how good he finished at the Preakness.
Yeah. I mean, I like Rombauer, but the other 4 are just that much better in my opinion.
Yeah, and they're all the same. They're all going to press the pace.
Right.
Except maybe No Agenda lays back, but the other 3 are going to be all over the pace.
Right.
Rombauer didn't have that in the last race. But go ahead.
Right. So the final thoughts. We're just going to break down our final thoughts here. And I do want to say that anytime we do any of these YouTube channel talks about who we like, we have not worked the formula into any of this. So these are not our picks that are actually going to be going out that people will be paying for. Our formula picks where we plug everything into our algorithm and spit out what the computer says is going to be the winner. So these are just my opinions. Rock Your World is going to set the pace here, in my opinion. I think he is going to get out. He's in the 7th spot. He's going to get out in front. Essential Quality is going to challenge and push Rock Your World. So it'll be a 1 and 2 type deal. Known Agenda, Hot Rod Charlie start to close. If you're looking for the most likely winner, just the way I've seen Essential Quality run breaks my heart. I really want to say Rock Your World, but I think Essential Quality, most likely winner. Not shocking to anyone at all, but I think if you want the price, if you want to look at the cost-benefit analysis, we got all these horses really close. I do think Known Agenda is the best value here and definitely a possible winner.
Agreed.
What you got, El Hombre? What's your final thought on this?
Here's how I'll just point out how I think I expect the finish order to be, whether it's right or wrong. I do think EQ's the winner. Mm-hmm. I like Known Agenda to be there for 2nd. Hot Rod Charlie's my 3rd choice. Rock Your World 4th. 5th, I have Rombauer, and then the other 3 don't matter to me. The other 3 are not a factor. That's my opinion.
I'll go Bourbonik, Overtook, and France to Inya in that order. I'll just round that out for you.
Yeah, Overtook and Bourbonik.
Yeah,
are around the same, and neither of them are going to factor in.
Yeah,
the France horse will just be fun for the Japanese guys to get drunk and have a good time. And again, I don't blame them for it.
All right, man. So there you go. There's our Belmont Stakes post-draw coverage from Trust the Prophets. Again, we got breaking news. 0 Baffert horses in this race. Can you believe it? My gosh.
I love it. I love it, actually, because it's been such an insulting, last few months of wondering about that whole scene. So it's actually refreshing to not have to talk about him.
I just hope that it brings about some sort of change within horse racing where there's going to be rules put in place that people actually follow.
At least
and that the horses are safe. That's a start. It's a start, right? But they got to put some sort of rules in place to make sure that this does not get abused and that the trainers who do stuff like this and make up BS excuses, which, top 5 Baffert excuses could probably be our next video. that they actually get punished in a way that's actually going to promote some sort of change, because it's bullshit. I hate doing this when you see news stories like that come out. It's just sickening. So anyway, on that thought, good luck at Belmont Stakes, everyone. Enjoy your weekend. Have a good one. Trust the profits. El Hombre, as always, lovely talking to you.
Peace out, guys. See ya.